Right now, NBC 26 live at 10, a suspect in custody after a shooting in Fond du Lac. Plus, what you need to know as you travel for the holiday week. And back here at home, the green and gold struggle against the Baltimore Ravens. New tonight, a 31-year-old man in the hospital after he shot in the stomach. Police in Fond du Lac say the person who shot him is now behind bars after turning himself in several hours later. NBC 26's Shane Gustafson has the latest from the newsroom.
Police spent the day picking up bullet casings and talking to neighbors on Western Avenue, trying to determine what led up to a fight that ended with one man shot in the stomach. It was a loud noise.
All of a sudden I hear this boom, and then a few seconds later I hear another boom.
And it woke up neighbors living just across the street from the Fond du Lac County Jail.
Some of the cops had their camouflage on and their big guns and were behind houses and stuff, and yep, it was scary.
Police cars lined the 100 block of Western Avenue just after 4 o'clock Sunday morning, after a 31-year-old man went to the hospital with a gunshot wound to the stomach.
Our investigators located a house that they believed the suspect was possibly in, or where this incident occurred.
There was no one inside, the suspect later turning himself into police after an hours-long search. But questions still remain as to what exactly led up to the shooting.
At this point, all we know is that there was some type of altercation that took place that led to shots being fired.
And people living just down the road say they hope this doesn't become a trend in their quiet town.
You know, a lot of people come in and out of here a lot, and it's just, for me, I just want to be safe. I've lived here all my life, but, you know, that's just kind of scary.
Police say they don't think there are any more suspects involved in the shooting, and if you have information as to what happened, you're asked to call the Fond du Lac Police Department. In the newsroom, Shane Gustafson, NBC 26.
Also in Fond du Lac, authorities are investigating a death involving a pedestrian who they say was struck by a suspected drunk driver. Officers say Jeffrey Koenigs was walking on East 2nd Street across South Park Avenue around 1:30 in the morning on Saturday when he was hit by a Dodge Dakota pickup truck.
We do have charges on the driver of the vehicle, and he is currently in the Fond du Lac County Jail.
Now, police say the driver also faces charges of operating a vehicle without a valid license as well, and the driver wasn't injured. Authorities say Hunter, who is a convicted felon, is now behind bars. The Outagamie County Sheriff's Department and the Wisconsin DNR report he trespassed on property on Carpenter Road in Shiocton and shot a buck. Wisconsin law doesn't allow felons to keep a firearm. Authorities say the Hunter is in Outagamie County Jail, now booked in on a felon charge of a firearm. Covering America now, Minnesota Democratic Senator Al Franken is not expected to step down amid claims of a sexual misconduct scandal. His staffer told the Star Tribune no on Saturday when asked if he would resign. A woman recently accused Franken of groping and forcibly kissing her without consent in 2006. Senators have called for an ethics investigation into this behavior. Franken, on the other hand, apologized to the accuser in a statement. His spokesperson also said, quote, doing a lot of reflecting. Alabama Democrat Doug Jones had some words about his opponent, Republican Senate candidate Roy Moore, this weekend. Jones spoke at a fish fry with supporters in Birmingham. At the event, he got the endorsement of the city's mayor-elect. Jones didn't, though, talk about the sexual misconduct allegations against Roy Moore, but later he was asked if the claims made by the woman should disqualify him.
I thought Roy Moore was disqualified long before this came up. Anybody that gets removed from office twice because you violate the rule of law, anybody that takes $1 million from a charity, the way he's done and used his own personal agenda, that was long before that. I felt that way all along.
And Joe said he was disappointed to hear the state's governor still plans on giving him her vote. Now, Governor Kay Ivey said she had no reason to believe Moore's accusers. The special election is expected to be on December 12th. 70s pop star David Cassidy in critical condition due to organ failure. Cassidy is part of a large showbiz family. He's best known for his role as Keith Partridge on the hit TV series The Partridge Family. His publicist says he is conscious and surrounded by family and friends at a hospital in Florida. New Orleans has elected its next mayor, and for the first time in its almost 300-year history, it will be a woman. Latoya Cantrell will succeed Mayor Mitch Landrieu in the race that pitted her against former Judge Desiree Charbonnet before becoming the city's top position. Cantrell served as a District B councilwoman. Cantrell officially takes office in May 2018. Well, plenty of people planning on traveling this week. Meteorologist Matt Hoffman has a quick look at your first forecast. Matt.
Hey Mo, and good news for those travelers ahead of Thanksgiving. It does look pretty quiet if you're going to be traveling, especially locally across the state. But we have some differences in temperature to talk about. We're going to be kind of going up and down over the next several days. Right now, it's a little chilly, 30 degrees in Green Bay, but with that breeze out of the southwest, it feels like 23 degrees. Temperatures aren't going to drop all that much from what you see right now. Because of that southwest breeze and some passing clouds, we're not going to see a big drop out there tonight. We do have a warm front off to the west that will be moving on through, and temperatures will be much warmer for tomorrow. Lots of sunshine once again, but instead of today where highs were right around freezing, we're going to be talking about highs well into the 40s, so feeling a lot nicer tomorrow. But we'll let you know when some colder air returns back to the picture, and more on that travel forecast coming up in just a bit. Mo.
All right, well, NBC 26 is your official Packer station. It was fortunately not a repeat performance from last week's performance against the Bears, so they're green and gold, but sports anchor Chris Barrier has the latest from that game. And Francis joins us now with more from that game.
Hey, Mo, what's happening? Yeah, so let's face it, it was a tough loss today for the Packers, and everything that motivated them from that Chicago game has since been deflated from this team's tires in what can only be described as maybe the worst game in the season for the green and gold. Brett Hundley trying to build on what he started last week in Chicago, and for the first, well, I don't know, 2 minutes of the game, things looked pretty good. The opening drive, big connection to Davante Adams for 33 yards. Adams had another big game, 8 catches for 126 yards total, but later in the drive, we've got some trouble. Hundley looking to the end zone for Randall Cobb. He's picked off by Jimmy Smith. It was only a 6-0 game at the half, but in the third, the Ravens find the promised land for the first time. Watch this catch by Mike Wallace. Demarius Randall on the coverage there. You really can't play it any better than that. Just a heck of a play, heck of a catch, heck of a touchdown. Fourth quarter now, Hundley trying to get anything going. This is a pass that's caught by the wrong guy. 3 interceptions for Hundley, 5 turnovers altogether, and the Packers are shut out for the first time in 11 years at Lambeau Field. For more on the game, here's Sports Director Charlie Sakaitis.
It started out oh so promising. Brett Hundley led the Packers right down the field on the opening drive of the game, but then he threw an interception in the end zone and poof. 4 quarters later, that was the only red zone trip of the afternoon as the Packers were shut out for the first time since 2006.
We took a big step backwards on offense today, and it's because we didn't take care of the football.
It sucks. It hurts, especially when you just, that this kind of game, we could have won this.
We're going to play better as we move on. To sit here and evaluate every negative play, I'm not going to really get into that.
It was just a lot of stuff out there that we missed on offense.
Brett Hundley's our starter. I believe in Brett Hundley. Didn't go very well, obviously, today. We understand the standard that's been set here.
I can't expect to be perfect, but at the end of the day, I can expect to be better than this.
To be shut out, it doesn't feel good, obviously.
As bad as everything went for the Packers in this game, there were a couple of bright spots. The defense perhaps played its best game of the year, and Davante Adams at wide receiver had 8 catches for 126 yards. But that all comes as little comfort as the Packers dropped to 5-5, and now their postseason hopes and dreams feel like they could be slipping away. Keeping you connected from Lambeau Field, I'm Charlie Sakaitis for NBC 26.
All right, thanks, Charlie. Well, we got plenty more reaction from the locker room and reports from Lambeau to bring you during our Sunday Sports Rewind. That's coming up in just a few minutes, so be sure to stick around for that. But for now, Mo, let's send things back to you.
All right, Chris, thank you very much. It may have been a loss for the green and gold this afternoon, but that didn't stop Packers fans from having some fun, though. The Lambeau Field parking lot filled with fans from both Green Bay and Baltimore early this morning. And while they may cheer on different teams, different jerseys, and against each other, each had something in common, just sharing the experience of Lambeau Field.
Season tickets have been in our family since 1946, and we are true green and gold, and everybody wants to come and do this.
It's a huge deal because this is where it all started, as far as I'm concerned.
And the team hits the road next week to play Pittsburgh. You can catch that game right here on NBC 26. Covering Wisconsin now. The first day of gun deer hunting season is in the books in Wisconsin. 600,000 hunters are expected to take part in this year's harvest. Wisconsin DNR says the state's white-tailed deer population is up this year after a few mild winters. Yesterday, hunters got their guns out to take a shot at some of the 1.4 million deer roaming public and private land all around the state. Hunters bundled up for the cold weekend to take on the great outdoors.
I really like getting away. For the most part, putting my cell phone away.
Last year's gun deer hunting season harvested more than 225,000 deer in Wisconsin, a number higher than the 2 previous years. Wisconsin's gun deer hunting season runs through next Sunday. The Wisconsin DNR reports 3 hunters were wounded, though, from opening day. The first happened in Brown County, where a firearm discharged into a man's right ankle. The second was in Forest County, where a man's rifle went off, sending a bullet through his legs. And the third one in Shawano County, the DNR says a man bent over and accidentally shot himself in the leg from his holstered handgun. Local governments across the state are thinking about putting their own regulations in place when it comes to mining, as Governor Walker gets ready to sign a bill lifting the 20-year ban on gold and silver mining. The bill comes as Aquila Resources, Inc. looks for sites in Taylor and Marathon counties. Taylor County officials already passed an ordinance back in 2013. On the other hand, Marathon County officials started to research ordinances. What's still ahead on NBC 26 Live at 10, whether you're hitting the road or the skies for the holidays, expect to see some changes when it comes to your travel. That's going to come up right after your break. But first, what's that weather looking like for the rest of the weekend, especially for you travelers? Your forecast coming up next.
And now, your Storm Shield forecast with NBC 26 meteorologist Matt Hoffman.
A big week ahead. Thanksgiving is on Thursday, and here's a look at your weather headlines as we get into this holiday week. Ups and downs as far as temperatures go. We're going to see a warm up for tomorrow, but then temperatures crash back down Tuesday into Wednesday. But the good news is overall good travel weather expected before Thanksgiving. We are, though, tracking some weekend rain and snow chances Friday night into Saturday. We'll keep you posted on that. Today, it was chilly for sure. Highs topping out right around freezing across northeast Wisconsin. And right now we're sitting at 30 degrees, so we haven't really dropped all that much from our high temperature of 32 degrees in Green Bay. That's thanks to winds out of the south-southwest at 7 miles per hour. We've also had some passing clouds as well, keeping those temperatures from dropping. So we have readings right now, upper 20s, right around 30 degrees. It's 30 in Manitowoc, 29 in Oshkosh, 27 in Appleton, as well as Clintonville, and 28 degrees in Shawano. So temperatures not going to really drop much more from where you're seeing readings right now, thanks to that breeze out of the southwest. Winds will remain about 5 to 10 miles per hour through the overnight hours. Wind chills, though, will be generally in the 20s, so it will still be pretty chilly as you head out the door tomorrow. We do have a warm front that is moving on into the state. Behind that, notice the warmer air, 30s and even 40s at this hour, and that warmer air is heading our way for tomorrow. So here's looking at your 24-hour planner. Temperatures rise quickly through the morning with mostly sunny skies. There will be some increased clouds, though, as we get later on into the day for your Monday and on into tomorrow night as a cold front approaches. Winds very breezy out ahead of that. Temperatures, notice, not really dropping all that much tomorrow evening, but they will really start to drop off after we get past midnight, and especially as we head through the day on Tuesday. Temperatures will fall throughout the day through the 30s, so it's going to be chilly. So this warm up, enjoy it tomorrow because it's going to be very brief. For tomorrow, mostly sunny through the morning into early afternoon, but then clouds will thicken up later on in the day as we head on into tomorrow night as well as that cold front passes on by. Could see a few flurries at times with a mix of sun and clouds on Tuesday, but for the most part will be dry. It'll be very windy as well as that colder air rushes on in. So ups and downs, milder for tomorrow, then colder for Tuesday on into Wednesday, but there will be another warm up by the end of the week. Unfortunately, the colder part of this week's forecast will include when we have the Appleton Christmas Parade, 7 p.m. on Tuesday, 27 degrees, but wind chills will be in the teens. As far as travel goes, a big week for that. We are going to see pretty quiet conditions on Wednesday, maybe a little bit of a wintry mix from Minnesota and the Dakotas, but that would be about it. If you're traveling across the state in Wisconsin, it looks pretty good. Flying, no problems at Green Bay and through our other local airports, but definitely the Northwest and New England, that could cause you some delays out there where we do have some storm systems that we are going to be keeping an eye on. The rest of the country looks pretty quiet. Your forecast tonight down to 29, mostly clear. Then for tomorrow, up into the mid to upper 40s. It's going to be a warm one compared to what we saw out there today. but those temperatures head right back down. Right now, Thanksgiving looking dry. If you're going to be traveling on Thanksgiving itself, highs right around 40, seasonable.
I mean, it's perfect time if you got to go out of state or out of the area. Great time to travel, be with your family on time. So.
Right, shouldn't have too much of an issue out there.
No delays,
yeah,
are they?
Yeah.
Thank you so much, Matt. Well, still ahead on BC 26 live at 10. Whether you're hitting the road or the skies for the holidays, expect some changes to the travel. You'll see that coming up right after your break. Welcome back. When you're off to that loved one's house this holiday season, you'll need a few extra cents in your pocket for the gas tank. According to the latest Trilby-Lundberg survey, gas prices are up a total of nearly 11 cents in the past month, following a drop in prices from September. The experts say this month's increase is because of the modest upticks in crude oil. Also, as millions of Americans plan to travel by plane or hit the road as well, there are definitely some days you should kind of avoid traveling. Fortunately, it's the Sunday before the holiday that's deemed the worst day for travel. According to this travel site Reward expert, the weather is not cooperating in some areas as well, as we mentioned earlier. Millions of people from North Carolina to Maine are under a wind advisory. Severe storms in the west are also forecasting to bring heavy rain and snow, which would also affect travel plans. So we advise everyone to stay safe out there if you are traveling. And also thank you for spending your Sunday night with me. Stick around for more Sports Rewind. Chris Barrier is your way. Coming up next.